Welcome to the Beat, everyone. I'm Ari Melber. We begin with the fallout over the president's feud with the Pope. There was the offensive post where he tried to depict himself as Jesus and later claimed that the post of Jesus was actually of a doctor. And there is a feud with the Vatican that really doesn't advance any U.S. interests at all. The backlash is a headache for the Trump camp as they look at a punishing set of problems going into the midterms. Alienating key parts of your base going into the election is not good politics. So even by that narrow measure, there is something off with Donald Trump's ability to do what he used to do on a regular basis, which is speak at least effectively to his base and build or maintain power. He is failing that, and I will show you the verdict coming in from many places. We could show you our European allies. We could show you independents, veterans, liberals. But let's start with how this is playing among MAGA voices.
That is blasphemy in its purest form. I find it appalling. It's disgusting. You're mocking my Lord and Savior.
It's evil. Just evil. Yeah. Nothing more to say about it. He's crazy. Done.
I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that he would actually do that. A man I voted for and trust.
Do you think this will have an effect on the elections in November and the midterms?
I hope so. I hope Catholics come out and vote for the Democrats. We're in a really bad situation.
You can measure this many different ways. The problems were there before Donald Trump's effort here to obviously antagonize religious voters in this country. There's also many MAGA media figures who at times we've seen defend almost anything he does, but more often lately on the war, on the Epstein files, and on what many people call this sacrilege and insensitive and extreme set of religious posts and attacks, they're fed up with Trump.
The image on its face is sacrilegious.
I think it was blasphemy. I was offended. I think he should apologize.
That kind of insulting behavior where you post something like that on social media after going after Pope Leo, I mean, does it end?
It's offensive. It's patently offensive.
I don't know why the president's getting so desperate for attention that he feels the need to mock 1.4 billion Catholics.
He's stepping on his own message. Very bad.
He has been an unmitigated disaster.
And on it goes. When you look at Republicans in Congress, well, Republican Majority Leader Thune says Trump should leave the church alone. Others call it ill-advised. Senator Hawley, who has been an OG kind of MAGA Trump figure, says there's only one Jesus, best to stick with that. By the standard of criticism in our current era, that's already loud. Other House Republicans saying this.
I talked with the president about it as soon as I saw it and told him that I don't think it was being received in the same way he intended it. He agreed and he pulled it down. That was the right thing to do.
I can think of a lot of people that might be close to Jesus, and I don't think President Trump is one of them. And I think the president should focus on national security and policy and leave this debate back and forth alone and walk away.
What we're witnessing is what it sounds like when even the hard right and MAGA voters and some pundits like you saw there, Megyn Kelly, react to Trump the way the majority of the country has been reacting to Trump on issues for many years. He got fewer votes against Hillary Clinton, but we have a funny system that made him president. Then he was, of course, rejected in those other midterms and in 2020, and he did come back in November 24. But most of the time, and it's easy to lose sight of this when you look up and you see the president starting wars like this, and raising the price of gas and fighting with the Pope, it's easy to look up and say, wait a minute, how do we even get here? How is this person president, and is this popular? And the answer is no, this is not popular, although the November 24 victory, which was about by a 1.5 spread, shook things up and had a lot of people forgetting that he was unpopular in the first term, as I mentioned, got fewer votes in both elections, 16 and 18, and that writ large, there aren't a lot of people in America who think this is how the president should act, or that this is okay, or that this is good. So that's just the baseline. It just happens that obviously going after the Pope and saying you're Jesus is going to apparently alienate a larger overlap of your own core supporters. But you got a lot of other people in the country who say, yeah, it's not presidential. Duh, none of this has been presidential the whole time. It's also getting the late night treatment.
He posted this AI image depicting himself as Jesus, presumably trying to heal Jon Stewart.
Wait, the guy in the bed, can I just... From the picture, it looks like he was touch and go with me for a while. But thank God, in my time of need, I was surrounded by family.
Donald Trump wants us to believe that he thought this was a doctor. If I'm in a doctor's office and that man walks in, I'm thinking I died.
So the jokes kind of write themselves. There are broader problems, though, that everyone is living through in reality, including how this war is rattling the economy. The International Monetary Fund now put out grim prospects that this kind of oil market disruption could slow economic growth even if we get through the war, meaning some of the damage is done, and it could make inflation rise and ups the risk of a recession.